It was a warm Saturday afternoon, and my wife, Claire, was out in our backyard practicing with her new competition air pistol, the kind that's bright blue and looks nothing like a real firearm. She was setting up paper targets by the fence when I heard the familiar shriek of HOA President Karen from the sidewalk. "She's got a gun. She's threatening the neighborhood." Karen screeched, phone already pressed to her ear. Claire, unfazed, calmly explained that it wasn't a real gun, just a training model for a charity shooting event she'd been invited to. But Karen wasn't listening. She was pacing like she was directing a live crime scene. Within minutes, 2 police cruisers pulled up, lights flashing. Karen ran to them dramatically, pointing toward Claire like she'd just caught a wanted fugitive. The officers approached, hands resting near their holsters, and asked Claire for her ID. She handed it over without hesitation, and that's when the mood shifted. The first officer glanced at her ID, did a double take, and his expression went from tense to sheepish. "Ma'am, are you Special Agent Claire Miller?" he asked. Claire nodded. She was not only a federal agent, but she also outranked both of them in the chain of command. One officer stepped aside and quietly spoke into his radio, confirming her credentials. Meanwhile, Karen kept yelling about endangering children and brandishing a deadly weapon, clearly thinking she'd just won some kind of moral victory. But her confidence shattered when the second officer turned to her and said, "Ma'am, we're going to need you to put your hands behind your back." Her jaw dropped. "For what?" she demanded. The answer, filing a false police report, misuse of emergency services, and harassment. Karen tried to backpedal, insisting she must have been mistaken, but the officers weren't buying it. They cuffed her right there on the sidewalk, while half the block watched from their porches, phones recording. Claire, ever the professional, didn't gloat, but I caught the faintest smirk as she packed up her training pistol. The squad car drove off with Karen still protesting loudly, and the neighborhood felt quieter, lighter. Later that week, the HOA sent out an email reminding residents that personal disputes should not involve law enforcement unless there is clear and present danger. I framed that email next to Claire's federal badge, a little reminder that sometimes karma wears handcuffs.